thank goodness, Spitfire is drinking. She hasn't been too thrilled about this new drinking method, so this makes me very happy to know that she is drinking from it. I did that because Parkour Chick has been jumping on it and making a little bit of a mess. So we went with the lower version of water and food, and it's working. I just have to change the water a lot more frequently than before because they get on top of it and they poop in it. This is their new Jungle Jam, you know, and of course somebody just went ahead and pooped on film. That is the first poop in this new setup. I just cleaned their box, obviously. This is day 11, Saturday, and they really like the dirt bath, so I'm going to keep that in there. And I put in a couple of other dowels, which so far I've seen them successfully sit on for a time. They're connected in the box. You see, I just made a hole on either side. There are two different dowels. And these are, I don't remember if I mentioned it before, but they are plungers that I got at the dollar store, and I just removed the plunger. And so you can actually just screw it into the box there if you make the hole the proper size. So in a few minutes, I'm going to create their meal for the fermented food mixed in with the regular food, and we'll see if they're happier. Right now they're fine, but they're like, this is, They do have to balance a little more on those dowels, but it is exercising their wings, right? Right. Hey, get off that food box, lady. Okay, I'm doing some analysis of the chicken coop and how warm it is. It's 8:30 in the morning, September 20th, 45 degrees outside. So obviously the chicks are not coming out, duh. But I want to see how warm it is in here at this hour on this day. I installed the heater here. It has not been on all night though. So the temperature in here is 40. So yeah, it's going to be cold in here and without the heater. So that's how the sun hits. So when the sun comes up, it's going to land right on the little perches, and it's going to say, good morning, ladies, wake up. And then they're going to wonder where the heck I am. So I have blocked off the nesting boxes. This one here will eventually come down the mesh. The one in the center is going to be permanently blocked, and I'll put whatever I need in there, tools or food or something. And that far one will also come down eventually when they're ready to nest. But again, I have 5 chicks. They probably only will use one anyway. So I might just take this one down or that far one. I don't know yet. I need to do some analysis on that, just figure it out. So yeah, okay, so 40 degrees in there. The heater I'm going to test this morning, and I'm going to see how warm it gets in here with the heater on. Okay, so the heater is now on. Yesterday when I tested it, at that close to the heater, it was 70 degrees, which is great. They don't need it hotter than 70 degrees when they're time to come out here, but we're going to test it now and see what happens in an hour. While we're waiting for the heater to heat up and run that test, here is the gutter system that we added, and it will collect the water, obviously, and it'll help to preserve the coop. This is a secondhand coop, and there was a little bit of, not water damage, but you could tell that it wasn't going to be too long before, you know, the wood was going to need some help. So it will catch the water here, go down, and it'll go into that bucket. And I'm just using a bucket right now because I'm not really collecting the water for the chicks. So I'm just using any old thing right there. Now, we had to add these on here so that the water would not drip back, you know, the drip guard. And we also had to do a little finagling here. You see this one? So the water was dripping down and going behind the coop and into the run. So not helpful. As you can see, it's still wet from when we were testing it and discovering that we needed to fix this. So we added that one down there, and then we have this little guy. Let's see if I can get up here. This extra one. So here's the regular one, see? But then we have this extra one that comes across to here. And that gives a little extra boost. So now the water does not get into the run, which is very important. I don't want them to have wet ground down there. All right, we're on our way out to check on the chicken coop. I'm practicing wearing my new boots. Why do you need to practice? Well, I don't be silly. But hey, look at them. They're adorable. They're adorable. They have little chickens on them. And they will come in handy when I'm out here and it's wet. And right now the grass is wet. All right, we're gonna check on the heater. It's been about an hour. The heater has been on. Well, let's make sure it's still on. Oh, yep. All right, and the temperature now is about 60. Okay, so the heater, it was 40 degrees in the coop an hour ago, and now it's 60. And I think that is not a bad situation because you don't want it to be too hot, but if you put your hand on this, it's pretty toasty. So they could literally, if they were like, oh, I'm really cold, they could come down here and just kind of get, oh, it's nice and warm right here. But they could also get over there up onto their roost if it was too warm. Gave them a couple of crushed up mealworms. Not many, but they try to bite here and there, but they're really not sure what to make of it. Are you supposed to eat that? I mean, they're worms, for crying out loud. They're kind of checking it out. Maybe, maybe not. But now I'm thirsty. I don't know, lady. Just because they told you chickens like this doesn't mean that we do. The 2 barred Plymouth Rock, 2 Black Star, who's bigger than all of them, by the way. I'll come back later and see if any of those are gone. Like I said, I only put a few in there and kind of cut them up, and so far they're not very interested.